Have you ever noticed how some people genuinely enjoy being alone? Not in a lonely, withdrawn way, but in a way that feels grounded. While most people treat solitude as something to escape, these individuals seem to seek it out. And that confuses us. Because somewhere along the way, society decided that being alone must mean something is wrong. Most people assume that those who enjoy solitude are antisocial, awkward, or emotionally distant. But psychology paints a very different picture. Research consistently shows that people who are comfortable alone often score higher in emotional regulation, self-awareness, and intrinsic motivation. They're not avoiding people. They're choosing themselves. Solitude gives them access to something that's increasingly rare: uninterrupted contact with their own thoughts. In a world saturated with noise, notifications, and constant social feedback, being alone becomes uncomfortable for many because it removes distraction. Suddenly, there's no one to impress, no conversation to steer, no role to perform. For some people, that silence feels threatening. For others, it feels like relief. Psychologists differentiate between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is the distress caused by unwanted isolation. Solitude, on the other hand, is chosen. And choice changes everything. When solitude is voluntary, it becomes restorative. It allows the nervous system to downshift, creativity to surface, and emotions to be processed instead of avoided. People who enjoy being alone often develop what's called emotional self-sufficiency. Their sense of stability doesn't depend on constant interaction or reassurance. They don't need someone else present to validate their experience. That doesn't mean they don't value relationships. It means relationships are additions, not lifelines. Interestingly, many of these people weren't always this way. Often, their comfort with solitude develops after periods of social overstimulation, emotional burnout, or disappointment. They learn slowly that being alone is less draining than being around people while pretending to be someone they're not. There's also a cognitive element. Solitude enhances metacognition, the ability to think about your own thinking. Without external input, the mind begins to organize itself. Problems that felt overwhelming suddenly feel clearer. Emotions that were suppressed start to make sense. This is why solitude has long been associated with philosophers, artists, and deep thinkers. Not because they hated people, but because insight requires space. And yet, we still romanticize constant connection. We treat busyness as virtue and solitude as absence. But the people who enjoy being alone understand something subtle. Peace doesn't come from being surrounded. It comes from being aligned. They don't fear being alone with themselves, because they've made themselves a safe place to be. So no, enjoying solitude doesn't mean you're broken. Sometimes it means you've stopped running from your own inner world. And in an age where distraction is endless, that might be one of the healthiest choices you can make. If this resonated with you, you're not alone in enjoying being alone. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll continue exploring the psychology together.